Good morning. Give it a few minutes or a few moments. Oops. There we go. Whoops. Let's try this. All right. Good morning, everybody. I am Lady M. I am our Maleficence, Roberta, whatever you are comfortable calling me. Sorry. This is Tea Time with Lady M. I welcome you and let's get started. Today, I'm not doing Facebook Live for a while. I'm actually going to be growing on here on YouTube. So if you are not subscribed yet, please do so. It will give you the chance to interact with me during the live. Make sure to like as well. You can share the live out. It is valuable information, especially with today's topic. It does go back to, doing shadow work, your grounding, your cleansing, your protecting, those kinds of things. So before we begin today, we are going to start with our grounding. We've done multiple methods of grounding. We have done where we get up and we move and we let the energy flow just by meditation or music, however you want. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, the box breathing method. This week we're going to do, because I think it is appropriate to share this one, as it is Tea Time with Lady M. So this is my tea, but if you, a good grounding method, if you are in the moment, hopefully you'll all have your tea, your coffee, your favorite beverage, so we can cheers to that. And what we're going to do today is we're going to take a sip and we're going to savor that flavor. You can do the same thing with food. Wine critics do it, wine tasters do it, even though they may not be aware of it. So savoring that flavor. Not a flavor saver. Don't come at me, but just savoring the flavor of whatever you are drinking. So for me, I am drinking my tea today, so I'm going to savor it. Just brings you back down to earth and just kind of makes you realize the flavors that can go into things, even coffee. Good morning. I don't know who is all on, but good morning. Good morning. This week, I am not sponsored, but I do have Lake Missoula Tea Company again, and I am going with Wonder Woman tea this week because I kind of just need a little bit of boost. I need a little bit of good morning, Christy. If you are new here, you can subscribe and you can leave comments. That way they can, they're not being spammed. But in Wonder Woman tea, we have nettle, chasteberry, licorice root, cinnamon, ashwagandha, raspberry leaf, and dong quai and maca. It can be a little bit spicy, especially with the nettle. Nettle does have a more of a, it's not spicy like a pepper, but it is like, if you compare it to like your spice pepper, it kind of has that flavor, that spice to it. So that's what I am drinking today, and I am absolutely going to savor the flavor because I need a little bit of power. Okay. So let's get into it. Today's topic is going to be about intent or intentions. Is there a difference? Kind of. No, not really. It's about how we use it in a sentence. So if we get started, intention is an adjective. It is something that describes Let's see, something that describes something that is directed with strained or eager attention. Ooh, I got little thumbs. Thank you. Thank you for that. So with that, it means, what does that mean? So if you are having a difficult time doing something, this maybe you're falling you're into like a depression, or maybe it's anxiety or trauma, and you were once eager to start something. I don't know why I did that. You were once eager to start something, but now you're not eager, if that makes sense. Like you get into a mode and you're like, I really don't want to. You lose that motivation, you lose that intent of doing something that you were supposed to. So now you feel strained to do it. So an example for me, um, and this is a few years back, and this is comes with the growth and being able to let go of people. I was in a wedding, and I was really eager to be there, but I was strained. My energy was strained, so I couldn't give it my full, and I felt extremely bad, especially because I was supposed to be the maid of honor. And when it came down to it, um, my intent was, it was there, but my heart wasn't, because I was so many other places, with so much going on. And it came down to, I was merely replaced, and this person couldn't be honest with me, and that they replaced me. And they're like, oh, no, you're just going to stand down the line. Even though I had tried, I just didn't, I didn't communicate. I was, again, in my own little world. So my intent wasn't fully there. I was just very strained and very drained with it. So that's one way of how intent can do that. Did it hurt when I was moved? Yes. But then again, I have to look at it. Where was I physically? Where was I mentally? I was not in a good mental state of mind when this person got married. I was drowning. It was also around the time where I tried to unalive myself. So I was in a very, very, very dark place, even though, I tried to do the things that I did with love and show up and just be that person. Um, and that's when I realized, like, it was time to start letting go of people, that friendships weren't as what they seemed. And that could have been a lot on my part. It could have been on their part. There is no blame. People change, and that's okay. Um, and then it kind of dwindled down to that. So you could also it could also mean having the mind, attention, or will concentrated on something or some end or purpose. Okay, I love that aspect. So with intent, if you are saying that you are doing your shadow work, then I hope you're doing your shadow work. You have intent to do your shadow work. Now, either you're doing the shadow work or you're putting it off, that's up to you. So, shadow work, it never ends, it never stops. You're always healing, you're always growing. And I'm learning that because I've had in an instant where, I thought I let go of somebody, and it's not because I didn't let go of that person or say my final goodbyes. It's because of the negativity that's associated with some of those people. I was invited to a family reunion, and I didn't get the chance to know my family. I was kept away from that side of the family. Very sad. So I didn't really get to know them. I always felt like the black sheep. And now that I'm getting the opportunity to come back and, have these family gatherings, I am being invited, but I'm also getting shut down with fear, because now I have a realization, the people that I let go of that do have those negative annotations, they might show up. But am I going to let that stop me? I don't know. And that's so I responded to maybe, because I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I want to put myself into that hurt. There's a lot of unknowns, and there's a lot of things that I have to work on to get through it. So what I have to do is, my intent is, I need to meditate. I need to get through the things that I need to get through to be able to give a solid answer and be able to show up and change that, maybe from to either a yes or a no. Because right now I don't know. I'm just torn, and I don't want any of my family to feel bad and not invite me for future references, because that's not the case. They're giving me the opportunity, and it's a time where we can come back and it's new beginnings and go from there and try it. It could also be a final goodbye. I don't know. Again, the unknowns. So what is my intent with that? I couldn't tell you right now. Maybe later on I can. But in this moment, with the trauma and the negativity, it's bringing me back into an anxiety-filled state, and it's not pleasant. It's not, it almost puts me back into a fearful state. It almost makes me want to go back and repeat those cycles. But I know that if I repeat those cycles and keep living in fear, that everything that I have and setting up for and have a purpose for not only myself, but my children and my children's children. You know, I'm doing then I would be doing all this work for nothing, you know. That's another example, is I'm building a board game for my husband. It is becoming a family board game. So it's not just my husband, it is our board game, but he's the one that created it. It was needed to hear my previous message. If you need to do something, you're scared, do it. Scared, you're not alone. Exactly. You're not, if you're scared, you're not alone. So I have options. You know, I know there's family that love me, and I know that I can reach out. My hubby is my absolute anchor in this. So that's one thing that keeps me going, knowing that I am not alone in this journey, and that I don't have to be alone in this journey. I don't have to choose to be alone. It's up to me if I want to run or if I want to stand my ground and hold my power of who I am and be who I am. Excuse me. All this crazy weather is putting my lungs, even though I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, it's still putting my lungs, they're still healing. So that's coming. But anyways, back to the board game. So we're creating this board game, and we're getting the cards, we have everything that we're doing, we have to get the boards, but then now we have to get it to a point where we have it where it's running smoothly. We feel that it's running smoothly. Now we need to get testers. So when we get testers, we need to find people that have the right intent, who will test the game for us and give us feedback, good or bad. But we also need to make sure that these testers don't have malicious intent. They're not trying to harm. So it's going to be, you know, like a pick and choose who gets what and who gets to do those kinds of things. So it's one of those, you know, can you get it going? Yes, absolutely. We can. We have the right thing. We talk about it. The people who've played it absolutely love the game, and they think that this is probably going to go far. I've gotten signs that it's going to go far. My intent is to have a game that can not only get us going, but can get our kids going and their kids going. And it can have add-ons to the game. So that's getting us out there, but we have to get all of those working pieces together first to make sure, before we get those testers, we can get it to where we want it to be, because we want the intent to be there. We want people to understand what the game is without having to question it. It's something to easy fall in. Quick, easy read of the thing. Once you start playing, you're like, oh, got it. That's our intent. It's fun. It's a great game. Spiritually. For me, spiritually, I do tea time with Lady M. I host a group called Spiritual Brew, and it is a fantastic, safe environment where people get to learn and grow in their own style and not feel pressured by anything. It's not necessarily witchy, but it's not necessarily religion either. It's spiritual. It's to get people out, and my intent for the group is to get people unstuck so that they can continue on their journey, even if they don't stay in the group. If they outgrow the group, that's fine. I am very much okay with keeping a smaller group so people can get back on the path the way they need to. If it grows, it grows. It grows the way it needs to when it needs to. A mind also intent could be a mind of, a mind intent on self-improvement. So I have intentions of getting a shadow journal out, right? What does this shadow journal? I've talked about it a little bit. What does the shadow journal do? Well, it's intended to help you with your shadows. It's 365 days of work. That means that there is no break. Does it work the shadows? Yes, but it also, here's the difference. It works the light side as well. So it makes you realize those happy moments, those sad moments, those things that you need to work through, those triggers, everything that it goes through. Sorry, this is one of those teas I kind of rather enjoy while it is still warm. So what the intentions is every day you're going to go into this journal. If you pull an oracle card, if you pull a tarot card, that option is there. But it also comes down to a word of the day. Now, this word of the day, it could be intention. What is your, and then it comes down to questions. And the way I have done it is, instead of putting it into you formats, and again, I put it into I, so it's not as in like I myself, it's an I as a whole. It's I as me as a person, me as an individual. So that I can, in this case, can work on it. That is what your intent is. You are sitting down every day and you're like, I know it's going to be a little bit grueling, but okay, here's my word of the day. Here's my journal questions. Let's write it out. Even if those answers, they hurt, write it out. Because guess what? You are now working on that shadow. You are now working on those triggers. You're now working on those emotions that come with those triggers and how you feel, all in a shadow journal. So because I am a shadow healer, I guess you could say, I find people, lost souls who are lost in their journey, and I bring them back. So that is what my intention is for this shadow journal. And when I started it last year, I didn't have the right aspect. I didn't know where I was going. I was like, okay, cool. I was like a journal, something to write out, do your daily polls, those kinds of things. Didn't quite work out, and I gave up after a month. I didn't go back into it. Why? Because my intent was not there. I had other things that I needed to manifest and learn and grow from so that I could come back to it this year and get it out. With my shadow journal, I'm working on getting it out July, hopefully September. And, once I get it going, I'm working on, getting all the questions. Oh, fireworks. Thank you. I don't know who sent fireworks, but thank you. So that is what my intent was. I couldn't get it done, but now that I have it, all the tools that I need, my intention is to get it out by July, September timeframe so that I can go from there and do those things and push it out to people and help people, because they may not necessarily know about the group Spiritual Brew or be on the good old Book of Face. So they can't join. So and they may not have YouTube. So those are just options to help people along the way. So I am manifesting this. I am grounding myself and, cleansing and protecting, doing what I need to do to push this forward. I have full intentions to get this out, to share with people so they can begin their healing journey, just because they may not know where they need. And, honestly, when I began my journey, I would have never said that it may take a year to do your work and get where you need to be, because it doesn't. It takes years. It takes lots of years, because some of us have so much trauma that we have to dig through and build through and go through to be able to heal. So that way, when we start focusing on our goals, that way our intent is there. So if you have goals, write those goals down. I don't care if they change. Write those goals down. And here's why. My chief, retired now, when I was in the military, told me, he goes, Airman Stone, that was my name, Airman Stone. He goes, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was like, I sat and I thought about it, and I was like, to be honest, I thought I was going to make a career at the time. I thought I was going to make a career out of the military. I was like, I want to be the first chief enlisted member for the Air Force. Sorry, drew a complete first female. However, I got medically retired, and that first female came well before I could get to that point anyways. And he goes, even if your goals change, he goes, write them down. He goes, here's why. When you write your goals down, you see them. And when you see your goals, you're more likely to achieve them, even if they change, even if they're in the moment, they change. So it's the same, even if you do, it may not be just a goal per se. It could be a board, where an inspiration board, where monthly, where you go in and you pin boards to an inspo board, and you go from there. It could be, those are goals. Those are helping you achieve what you want in reality. And then you go back and you say, okay, did I achieve those goals? Yes. Okay, no, this one was a little unrealistic, or whatever the case may be. Write those goals down. Achieve those goals, even if they're little goals. So going back to my shadow journal, I have goals I set it to where you have monthly goals, you have weekly goals. So you can take 1 month goal and you can break it down into weeks. So that way you're not feeling overwhelmed in your own healing journey, because I don't want you. That's not my intention. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Is it going to feel overwhelming at first? Absolutely. Because that's what happens when you're doing the work and you're putting it in. So that's what comes with intention. Intention. What are some other examples? Other examples are, let's see. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, this is one that's, it is a problem for me, because I am big on, if you are going to walk the talk, then you better start talking your walk. Wording is key for intentions. It absolutely is. Is your intentions positive? Is it negative? So which I will get to that, but let's finish this first. So if you're saying that you're going to do something and you don't do it, that is projection. That is absolutely projection. So if you say you're going to do the dishes on one day and you don't get them done that day, something comes up, okay, cool. But then the next day comes around, you say you're going to get the dishes done, and they're still sitting in the sink, and nothing comes around, dinner comes around, dishes aren't done. It starts causing frustrations, because it feels like am I not communicating, or is it you not communicating, or is it a fear-based because you intend to do it, but now you're getting distracted, or you're holding on to things, or you're letting different things just get into your mind. So it comes back to, instead of saying should, change it to could, because when you change that perspective, you're going to start seeing those intentions start coming together. So for me, when it took me getting my house clean, my house was a disaster. I wasn't proud of it. I was ashamed. I didn't like people coming over. Now I'm to the point where I have done the work. I've put the work in. Yes, I have dirty dishes in my sink. I have, clothes I need to fold, but that's okay. I'm human. I know it's going to get done. And I reward myself for the things that I do get done. So when I intend on getting something done, I say I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. And then when I get it done, guess what? Hey, Roberta, you did amazing. You're hurting. I know you are. It is time to go sit on some heat, because you did everything you said you could. Even if you didn't, even if I couldn't get the dishes, you know what? It's okay. Your back is in rambles, and you can't do much more. I get it. You are only human. Your body can only take so much. And that's something I have to consider. Could have full intentions to do spring cleaning, get everything taken out of my house and just cleaned and disposed of in 3 days' time. Is that realistic for me? Absolutely not, because I'm physically disabled, and that would take a lot out of me energetically and physically. Like, I struggle. So I'd be putting myself in more of a dilemma than anything. Now, let's get to negative intentions and positive intentions. Let's do it in the spiritual aspect, the witchy aspect. If you have intentions, do it for yourself. You know what your intentions are. You can't necessarily say what somebody else's intentions are. If they're doing a cord cutting or a love spell or those kinds of things for you, that person could have full intentions to say, hey, help this person with getting this cord cutting done, release the energy, bring it back to them. But if that other person is not doing the work, then that person who did that cord cutting for them, is their intentions were there, but it was wasted, because the other person didn't follow through with what they were supposed to do. And that can come off as negative. It can come off as positive. Now, you could also have somebody who is doing spell work or cord cuttings for you, and their intentions are negative. They want you to suffer. They want to hex you. They want to do these things. You don't know what their intentions are or what they are truly doing, because guess what? Our mind is our most powerful tool. I tell my boys that all the time. Your mind is your most powerful tool. If your intentions are to hurt somebody, those are absolutely negative intentions. If you feel negative intentions, then you need to get those protective boundaries, ground, cleanse, do what you need to, because those intentions generally aren't wrong. It's somebody trying to attach to you. It's somebody who's trying to leech on and, suck your energy out, whatever the case may be. Excuse me. So those are intentions that can go wrong. Things that I won't do for other people. I will not do spell work for other people. I won't do love spells. Because for one, love spells, this is the way I look at it. If I'm going to tell my daughter to cherish her body and do all these things, especially the same thing with my boys, your body is a temple. Why would I want to do a love spell for somebody and have that on my conscience? That's considered rape. I'm sorry, but it is. You are trying to force somebody to love you who may not love you. You're trying to force somebody to keep you there. I won't do it. That's bad intentions. I don't know where you're supposed to be. You have life lessons to learn. And guess what? Those intentions, if I send it out for somebody else, guess what? It's going to come back tenfold to me. So absolutely not do I want to send something out for love that I consider rape and then have it come back to me. No, 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 no. That's not what I want to do. And that is perspective. Everybody's perspective is different. But you're right, Christy. It is about free will. And so for me, I don't do those things for people. I don't dip my toes in love aspect. I just do general readings on people when I do, or if they have a question. I don't dabble in people's finances. I don't bring them money because then that's just showing greed. They have the work to do. You don't just get these things just by a handout. So I don't, there are certain things that I don't do. Do I do, money stuff for me? Absolutely. That's my intentions because I'm bringing it in to my family, myself. I know where my wealth lies. Again, it doesn't necessarily, my wealth is not based off of money. My wealth is who I surround myself in a daily basis. That's my intentions. I don't need money. Is it nice? Yes. With the inflation, absolutely. It helps. Do I have things to do around my house? Yeah. Do I have kids to get from Florida? Mm-hmm. I got bills to pay too. So yes, it does. Having money makes a difference, but it's not where I don't find myself needing money to make me happy. It gets my bills paid. It keeps me alive. But I don't need the money to have the wealth. As long as I am supported with or surrounded with the friends and family, new subscribers, new people in the group, whatever it is, my intention is to fully support you, be there for you, and help you back on your journey. Even if you are a silent person in the journey, I'm still there to help you. I see you. That's my intent. My intentions are to pass the good to the world, to wake people up and bring them back together as a whole. That's what I'm doing. But I can't do it alone. Other people have to do it too. But in order to do it, they have to wake up. So my intentions are to help wake up the world and let them see the light. Let them come out of those dark times and see that those dark shadows that we once feared are now things that we are turning into manifestations, and we're no longer projecting our emotions because, when you project, that's intentions, even if you don't realize it. Because those are emotions. Those, if you're an empath, those things get attached to you. They stay with you. So keep those in mind for different aspects of intention. Intention is about perspective. And in my perspective, this is only my journey. I can't dictate or tell you what to do or who to look for in your journey, how to go about it. But if you're coming with pure intentions, I am going to welcome you in my circle. I am going to welcome you in my community. Because here's why: you're about learning, you're about growing. You're not going to become stuck. You're not going to try to push things onto others that others may not be ready for, if that makes sense. Intent it's big. It ties into your emotions. It ties into your shadow work. It ties into your healing. It's there. So if you're saying that my intent is to do this, the question is, are you doing it? So if you're not doing it, why are you not doing it? Now ask yourself this: why are you putting it off? So move forward. If you intend to do something and you do it, great. Reward yourself. If you need to be rewarded from somebody else, get a clap on the back. That is great. But don't let those little things sit there, because they will sit on your mind. They're going to sit on somebody else's mind. It happens. I didn't do all this work to fall back to where I was. I don't intend to go back into the cycles that I was. I intend to keep growing. I intend to keep healing. Remind yourself of those things, because guess what? When you tell yourself, I intend to do this, and you follow through, again, if you talk the talk, you better walk the walk. I said it correctly that time. So back it up with your walk. Make those actions count. Make it show. So if you're going to say something and it has actions that are to go with it, follow through with those actions, because sometimes those actions mean more than those words. It's all in your intent, all in your intention, all of those things. Today is a little bit shorter of a thing with tea time with Lady M, but that is okay, because we talked about intent and I feel that it was addressed properly, getting the message out and giving people a different perspective of what intent is and what intent can be perceived of. And you may not even realize that you're doing it until you put it into a different perspective. So if you intend on doing something, do it. Don't just say it and not follow through. If your intentions, remember, if you are reaching out to people and you to help with like oracle readings, tarot readings, divinations, spell work, healing, any of those kinds of things, if you feel their intention is not true, follow your gut, because your gut is never wrong. That means their intent is not pure. Find those people. So before we hop off, we are going to end today's live with the Shaman's Dream Oracle. This is a brand new Oracle deck. Seems to be jiving pretty well with my other decks. A little on the chatty side with me in the mornings so far, but I'm not complaining. I think it's a little bit more spicy as it goes. Whew. Like a little bit more spicy. Whew. So exciting. Ooh, FedEx is here and I don't know why. All right, the Shaman's Dream. All right, good morning, Shaman's Dream. What messages do you have for people today? Listening to Tea Time with Lady M this week. So thank you if you're joining in on the live. Thank you if you're joining in on the rewatch. Let me know if you have any questions. This is exciting. We're going to continue to grow. Oh, we got one so far. All right, 3 more shuffles. 2 more shuffles. And last shuffle. Okay. All right. Okay, this is a cute one. So this is card number 3, Benefactor, Grace and Generosity. And it's like a king with a king mouse with his like queen, and they're together. And this is like coming together, coming together with that intent, knowing your grace, knowing your generosity, which is funny is generosity came up to me for me this morning in my morning poll. So whatever you're doing, do it with generosity, do it with grace. You may not have to have money, but you know what? Love goes a long ways. I'm telling you, you can give love as generosity. Kindness goes a long way. Be that benefactor, be that kindness, be that supporting shoulder that somebody needs, and and shine so that they can use it in their dark times. You are a benefactor. And you do it with grace. You do it with generosity. Our next card is card number 10, Deep Diver, diving into a task. So this, which is so funny because we are talking about intent today. So what is your task that you are coming up with that you need to get done? You have a certain task that is major and you need to but you're compiling yourself with a bunch of tasks. Find that major task, break it down, and then you're going to dive into it. And then once you complete it, you're going to come back into it. You're going to do it with grace, and you're going to do it with generosity. You're going to love yourself. You're going to be kind. Do those things. The next one, as you're working on yourself, which is, it's so funny because it falls in line with intent and it falls in line with shadow work, is vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, letting go of that ego, saying bye-bye ego and connecting to your true higher self. When you let go of your ego, it's a beautiful, beautiful realm to put yourself in, because that's when you start realizing that you're vibrating higher, that you can realize the triggers and the downsides, the thin line that you still balance. But when you let go of your ego, that means you're letting go of your human side. You're getting in touch with your soul. Our final card is the wall, obstacles. With this vanishing mirror, letting your ego go, you're going to have obstacles. But guess what? There is light that's going to come with those obstacles. Once you dive into that certain task, it could be healing, it could be a project you're working on. You're going to come in it and you're going to find kindness and you're going to find grace. So that way you can let that light shine and drop that ego. It's absolutely beautiful today. It falls very well with what we talked about, intention and the things that go with intention. So let go of that ego. Become who you are naturally meant to be. Be kind, be generous. You never know, because it will go such a long way. I hope you enjoyed Tea Time with Lady M today. Ooh, excuse me. This is Tea Time with Lady M. I hope you all have a great, fantastic week. Love you all.